Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a Merry Christmas. Um, this is a video, not about you, not about, well, partially about me, but it's important to remember during this time of year all of the military members who cannot be with their families. I have been in that situation in the past. Um, it does suck. It does. There is a lot of loneliness during the holidays. So if you know of any military members who are not with their families and you can reach out to them, absolutely do that. Those little things do mean a lot. It's very easy for them to feel forgotten, even if they are not. Um, but there are times where they are. For me, I had a lot of family who messaged me and whatnot during the holidays, but I had Marines who didn't receive any messages. No emails, no phone calls, nothing like that. And these are people who are putting on a sacrifice. And I know there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of problem with veterans who've never been to combat. That doesn't mean they haven't sacrificed. Quite the contrary. A lot of times, those are the people who sacrifice the most because, if you've been deployed in a war zone, you get time to be back home. Like they put that into the orders. Whereas if you're just deployed for a non-combat mission, oh, they can keep you out there and keep you on the rotation. Uh, so definitely remember them. I know on Fridays we try to remember everyone deployed. That's Red Fridays. So some people try to wear red on Fridays, um, just to do that. Uh, for me, missing several Christmases with my family, it was tough. It was very tough. And a big reason for me leaving the military was I determined I was not going to uh, miss anything of my child's life that I didn't have to. Now, you know, not everybody makes that choice, and that's okay. You got to make the choices that are right for you, okay? And for military members who are watching, always make the choice that's right for you. At the end of the day, you're the only one that has to look in the mirror and be comfortable with the person looking back at you. And I always tell you to definitely do that. Uh, yeah, sometimes just a phone call, just a text message, an email that can mean a lot. When people know that you're thinking about them, it you know makes that sacrifice a lot more worth it. That's why when I end my show, I always say thank you for being worth serving, and that's because a lot of people tell me thank you for your service. Well, I do mean that. I do mean, hey, thank you for being worth serving. Like every holiday, every event that I missed, I think is definitely worth it because the American people are good people inherently. America is a great country. And the people who will tell you that it's not are, especially Americans, are people who really haven't been to many other countries. You'll find that they've never been to other cultures, and just don't know how they don't realize how accepting our culture is of people who disagree with us. I've said several times, freedom is not what you allow someone else to do, your neighbors, your friends. It's not what you allow them to do. It's what you allow them to do that you personally don't agree with. That's what freedom is. True freedom is. That's why, people say things like hate speech isn't protected. Oh, it's absolutely protected because it's hated. That's the only speech that you don't like is the only speech that requires protection. Why? Because you hate it and you want to go after it. Uh, so, you know, when you realize, you go overseas and you realize these are American values, these are Western values, you know, developed, first conceived in France and then brought to us where they were fully embraced. You realize how wonderful our military is by doing what they do. And here recently, I've had people saying that I don't like the military because I'm critical of it. Quite the opposite. I love our military. I love all of my brothers and sisters in arms. And if I'm critical of it, it's for them. It's for them. You know, if I had any regrets about my military service, it's one thing. It's one thing. Saying I'm just a captain or I'm just a lieutenant. That's what I regret. Because I didn't realize at that time how powerful that is. And so that's what I regret. But that also changes the way I do things going forward. It's why on this channel, it's why we fight people who are being harassed by their government, or, you know, people who are being harassed and the government's protecting them. It's why we fight against government corruption. It's why I send certified letters, why I do petitions, why I write articles. All these things, I'm using my freedoms to help other people's freedoms and fight, you know, against the things that I don't like. You know, this is not a perfect country. And, you know, even the founding fathers said, enable to create a more perfect union. You know, they said more perfect. They never said a perfect union. We're going to always strive for perfection, but we'll always come up short because we're men. We're not God. So we will fight to try to make it better. Always. And that's what so many in our military are doing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to make the military better for them, for your children, your grandchildren. You know, if our military isn't espousing our greatest values, then, you know, it's pretty much all for naught. We should be looking at our military and saying, I expect you to be better. I expect you to be better than the general population. And that's why we have the UCMJ. You know, the UCMJ is way more restrictive than the laws out in town. It's sad to me when I see that people in the military, especially our leadership, are being held to a less high of a standard. We should want high standards. Absolutely, we should. We should be striving for that. So that's what I'm going to keep doing for, and that's what I hope you all do, is thank our military for their sacrifice, but also make sure that our government treats them way better than they've ever been treated. And I'll just tell you right now, this country has a long and storied history of abusing its military members and its veterans. And I'm going to work to keep fighting that. I hope you stand with me on that. So that's what I'm remembering this Christmas, is all those military members and what I can do and what we can do together through Veteran Nation and through so many other organizations to make that better. So that's my goal this Christmas. I hope this message finds you and your family doing well. I hope this resonates with you. I hope you're willing to support, you know, Veteran Nation and all the people that, you know, help us. Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, a Veterans Affair Media, you know, all the people who, long after all the stories that I do, when they die off, and I'll still be here and they'll still be here alongside me working on the next thing, I hope you'll support all of that. And with that, I really do hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.